Pokemon Scarlet and Violet have been released, and reviewers are saying that it's a step forward in the right direction, that Pokemon's first step into proper open world gameplay has a lot of fun features and some stuff really going well for it. We have a whole new generation of Pokemon, some really cool storylines, some characters that you will enjoy, but there's a big problem, you see, is the game is broken. Now, some may say it's a slight over-exaggeration to say that the game's completely broken. Is it Cyberpunk 2077 levels of completely unplayable unless you have the most high-end NASA tech launch a rocket into space kind of PC? No, it's not that bad, but it is pretty bad. I've been seeing all of these posts about glitches that people have found all over the internet in the 24 hours since the game has been released. And, you know, some range from quite funny ones. Like, for example, we have this texture pop-in thing, which is kind of hilarious. If you kind of go back a bit here, you see these creatures, these polygon creatures with very straight hands that eventually just get hair and hands, which is pretty nice. It's a little hard to notice because Reddit has absolutely terrible video hosting skills. But I also spotted my own fair share of glitches. Like, for example, the fact that my character had an arm through his eye at some point. I don't know how this happened. I just got on my Koraidon and it started absolutely having a fit. Also, I found a Fido that was drowning. I don't know if this is a glitch. I just thought it was kind of funny. I mean, sad. It's very sad. It's super sad that the Fido is dead now. Found that you can just get backwards. You could just go backwards on your Koraidon. Don't think this is supposed to happen. And it all culminated in a little bit of a funny video where I try and explain how you're supposed to ride a Koraidon correctly.
Yeah, so as you can see, this is the correct way to ride a Koraidon. If you are not doing it in this way, then you're not playing Pokemon Scarlet version and Pokemon Violet version correctly. If your arms and your fists are not coming through your eyeballs, then you are riding a Koraidon in the incorrect manner. And you should probably fix that.
I don't know how this happened. I just started my game and it started doing that, so that was kind of weird. But anyway, the game's working perfectly, as you can see. You also have other glitches, like, for example, finding a Pokemon inside of a wall, which is, you know, not ideal. You kind of get ambushed by things inside of walls. I guess he just shouted from the other side, and so the trainer heard and turned around and was like, oh, I guess we're gonna fight now, because Pokemon are strong enough to punch through walls. It's not really that big of a deal, right? Yeah. We also have looking through the bottom of the world, which, again, I think that's, you know, it's fine, guys. The developers just want you to see the beautiful underground of the world that they have created, and that just includes a lot of water, but it's nice looking water, so it's okay. It's a little bit of a camera issue. We seem to be having a lot of camera issues in this game so far, but we also have some more serious glitches and bugs, which, like, for example, being stuck in a raid den and not being able to do anything. The raid is over and you just hang around. I guess you went to grab a coffee, or somebody went to Starbucks that was supposed to end the ride, like go into a theme park and you're like, okay, I want to get off now, please release the harness, except the person that is supposed to be running the ride has went for a lunch break, so you just have to chill out for a bit. I don't know what happened there, but not really that great. We also have some T-posing folks in the beginning of the intro, which is, I mean, these kind of bugs, they're small. They're funny, okay? Some kind of jank is no problem. Listen, believe me, I am a massive Bethesda fanboy, and a little bit of jank, like the stuff that I encountered with the arm coming through it, that's totally fine. And don't worry, because there'll be some patches and some bug fixes that I'll go over later. But first off, let's look at some more bugs. Like, for example, I don't know if this is a bug, but this just looks terrible. This is the animation for eating a picnic Sammy, which is just, what is this? What are they trying to achieve with this cutscene? They couldn't animate someone biting into a sandwich? It's so strange. It just looks really bad. Is that an artistic direction kind of thing? Am I an idiot? I don't know a lot about art. I don't know why the Mona Lisa is so important. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't get it, right? It's a little hard for me to understand why some people throwing paint at a wall sometimes can sell for $50,000. I don't get that. Maybe I'm just a moron. Or maybe I'm just dumb. But anyway, there is someone that is just kind of going around. It's the mermaid man from SpongeBob. It's the Invisimobile from SpongeBob. That's all that is. Maybe they just got really excited and decided to do a little bit of flying around. because if I know anything about Pokemon protagonists, is that they can do things that humans really shouldn't be able to do. You ever seen Ash in the anime? He's been set on fire, electrocuted, blown up like 50,000 times. Kid seems alright. In fact, he just won a world championship, so, you know, props to him. We also have this same thing happening again, which is slightly unfortunate. Maybe you didn't want to see a Koraidon. Maybe you didn't like either of the legendaries. And if you didn't like either of the legendaries, then have I got the product for you. You can buy Pokemon Invisible version, where you don't have to see either of them. And you can go through legendary free. There are some people that don't like legendaries. They think using legendaries is cringe and think that the whole idea that you get a legendary at the start of the game to ride around on is a dumb idea. Well, have we got the product for you? We've got Invisible version now, so that's good. We also have some kind of texture issues. This is from Beat 'em Up's stream, where you can kind of just
it happens every
see
time now.
the game kind of completely glitching out. I wonder if I can find the exact frame. I don't think Twitch clips are going to let me do that. But you can see in the background, oh, yeah, that's it right there. It's not looking so good. I don't know what is happening there. I thought it was a little bit of an emulator issue, but Beat 'em Ups is playing on the Switch, so it's not an emulator issue, which is so strange. But there may be a solution on the horizon, guys. Don't worry, because the memory leak in Scarlet and Violet may be the cause of this problem. So if you don't know what a memory leak is essentially, in computing terms, when I think the system itself loads and keeps loading things that it doesn't need to load, and it causes the performance to absolutely tank because it is trying to load things that it doesn't need to. It's trying to load too many things, and that's causing a massive hit to performance. And usually, a memory leak isn't too bad of it's not too bad of a thing, right? You can fix a memory leak. But the thing is Nintendo, is Game Freak gonna fix it in a timely manner? Well, they did release an update pretty recently. They released an update 0.01 where you can play online. And they also added a bunch of stuff to this update that they did not necessarily say in the patch notes. In fact, they don't do patch notes because patch notes are cringe. Apparently telling people what's exactly in an update is not cool and we should not do it. So there is a moves added to Pokemon, and I guess some bug fixes. Technically, apparently there was some bug fixes. Apparently the patch notes mentioned bug fixes, but I couldn't really find that in here. So they just said to update your game. But the fact that they have a day one patch is good news, right? Because it means that maybe they'll fix it. But for a second, can we just remember who's making this? The biggest media franchise in the world, and it's releasing a game that if we just disregard all of the bugs, you might think, oh, it's just visual things, it doesn't really matter. That's fine. But the game runs like a slug. It runs like my geriatric grandma. It can't run properly ever. At no point do you even get 30 frames a second. And you might say, oh, but the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch doesn't have enough tendies to make the game go good. Well, that's not really true either. There are other games on the Switch that look better, that run better as well. And I think it's just silly. Why is the highest grossing media franchise in the world releasing a game that performs like a wet slug? It doesn't make any sense. I think they should maybe, I don't know, try a little bit harder or maybe delay the game, because there's no way in testing they looked at this and thought, yes, this works perfectly. The game, it works perfectly. I know if you've played this game, you've experienced the slowdown, and some of you may not be that concerned, but I feel like the game just doesn't respect your time. Every single move, every single transition into a new area just slows things down. And I hate things that don't respect my time. And I hate things that don't respect your time either. You don't want to play a game that takes 5 seconds to get through clicking A into a menu. That's boring. That's not fun. And it'll cause you to drop it in the long run for the majority of people, and it needs to be fixed, and the fact that they released the game like this is dumb. And the reason why I'm going so hard on them right now is, number one, because you pay $60 for a product, okay? It's not like they are doing us the kindness of making a game, because there are people that say this all the time. You should be glad that they're making games. They're making a product to sell. You're buying this product, and when you buy the product, you deserve at least a baseline of quality. And the baseline of quality is that the game should at least run properly for the majority of the time. At least 90% of the time, the game should run like a proper video game. And this one doesn't do that. Will there be performance patches? God, I hope so. The Game Freak isn't known for patching a huge amount of stuff, but here's the thing. Pokemon deserves better than this. It is the highest grossing media franchise in the world. It is beloved by tens of millions of people everywhere. Pokemon deserves better. The franchise deserves better. And I don't think as long as the games keep hitting sales records, I don't think we're going to get much better, unfortunately. Anyway, subscribe to the second channel.